friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the requirements for becoming a foster parent. Hi, my name is Winter Hendrickson and I have 4 adopted children from the foster care system. 3 boys and a little girl, ranging from 16 years in age to 6 years in age. So we have a wide scope of age groups in our house, and we just love foster care so much, and it has changed our life in so many ways. And so this channel is all about how to help you become a foster parent and how to be a better parent and how to adopt a child. So it's all advocacy for those things. So stick around, hit that subscribe button if you want to hear any or more of those things from our family. So let's get into the video. Let's talk about the requirements for becoming a foster parent. First of all, to become a foster parent, you must be 21 years of age. So that's pretty easy. You just have to wait till you're 21 if you're not 21. Also, your house must be a safe place, obviously, and without structural and health hazards. And so what that means is, like, you do have to do a home study to become a foster parent, and what they're looking for is just health and safety issues. If your house is falling apart, like it probably won't work out. You just need to have a safe place within reason for that child to grow up and thrive. You don't need a mansion, you don't need these things. You can live in a trailer, you can live in an apartment, it's not a problem, but it just needs to be a safe environment for a child to live. When we had our home study, we had a railing outside, and the between the railings were like a little bit too wide, and so they said the child can get their head stuck in there. So my husband just took the railing off, and then it was fine. It was like totally safe. It was just a superfluous railing anyways. It was just sitting there. So it's really easy to fix. Another one of our issues was a railing upstairs. We even did this before the home study, but it was too short on our staircase, and so we heightened it. We changed the railing out completely in our home. And you must have smoke detectors, you must have carbon monoxide detectors, and your water has to be under a certain temperature, and they're going to check that for you. And if it's not the right temperature, they'll turn it down. So if you like really super hot showers, that's not going to happen anymore for you. It can still be pretty hot, but like you got to keep it safe for a child so they don't get hurt. It's just like they are trying to make sure that the children they have custody of, because when the state takes a child, they're in charge of that child. They're trying to keep it safe, and so these laws are in place to keep that child safe. So I think that they're within reason for the most part. Some of them get kind of finicky, you would say. You must have child protection little locks on all of your cabinets, and you have to have those little outlet covers on all of your outlet covers. And then all of your medicine must be locked up at all times, even vitamins, all that stuff. We just got a little safe, we put it in the safe, and now it's locked up. It needs to be all locked up completely out of reach from a child. And then I guess like the cabinets that need to be locked up the most is the ones like your under the sink stuff, like your soaps and your bleaches and your cleaning supplies. That all needs to be locked up as well, for obvious reasons. You would do that with your own biological children, so why not with your own foster children? So yeah, so that's the home study. The home study can be different from state to state, and it just depends on different things. In our state, for instance, we can technically have a trampoline. In most states you can't, but it just needs to have that cover around it. You could have a pool, but I think it needs a cover over it too. So there's just different things for different states that are like applicable here. So home studies can vary from state to state. The next requirement is that you need to have a background check done for you and also for anyone over the age of like 13 in your household. So some of your older kids would probably have to have a background check done on them, or at least a screening done on them, to make sure that they are safe people to be around children. And so we had to have our fingerprints taken and a criminal background check done on us, and they're looking for things like drug usage, abuse and neglect, domestic violence, things like this. Trying to create a safe environment for children in care. And then when our teenager, he got old enough, they started doing some screenings on him as well, just to make sure that he was safe in the environment, and they do just simple background checks on them. And then every time you go to adopt a child out of the foster care system, they do another fingerprint criminal background check on you and whoever's in your house, because they just want to make sure you're safe. They have a lot of checks and balances there. Another requirement here for becoming a foster parent is you need to be able to show that you are financially capable of taking care of your own financial needs. And so what that means is, like, you should be sufficient in taking care of yourself right now. You're not like out of control in your budget. You need to show them that you can pay your bills and that there isn't like some real like red flags there. So like during your training, they will have you do a budget and make sure that you can afford to take care of another child, because your reimbursement for that child could be like 2 months down the road. And so they're just making sure that the child can be taken care of and its needs, basic needs, can be met by you financially, which is kind of a big deal for some people. So some people assume that like when you come into foster care that like they're just gonna pay for everything for you, and I think that for the most part most things get paid for, but like it takes time sometimes, and like you need to be able to pay for your own stuff, not with their money, you know. So it's just it's wise, it's smart. Number 5 here, this is the last one, is you must complete a 30-hour training. So sometimes it's called Unity or Pride. I heard it called different things in the past. Different like states have different names for it. So that's like a whole extensive training, talking to you about trauma, talking to you about different questions that you'll have about a child coming into care. They will answer your questions for you about different situations, like, can so-and-so live in my house? Can this happen, that happen? Like, this, just different questions that you have about foster care training. Just all sorts of really good trauma things, videos about children and care. They kind of try to scare you a little bit, show you like, hey, this isn't just like, I think the first class that we went to, it was really unique. They said, how many people in here just think these children just need love? And like half the class, like almost everybody in the class, like, yeah, they just need love. And they're like, you're completely wrong. They need so much more than just love. They need, you know, like their basic needs met. They need their discipline, like all these things. And so I was like, okay, like these guys, they know what they're talking about for sure. And so that's a really good class to take. And it's really valuable. So that's all paid for, but by the state, but you do got to take that class. So those are all the requirements for you to become a foster parent. If it's different in your state, put it in the link below and we'll talk about those things. I would love to hear from different states how it's different for you. I think those are generally the basic outlines of exactly what needs to happen. I probably missed a few there, but if there's anything else that you can think of from your state, just go ahead and put your state in the bottom in the comments, and then like write a couple things that is different from your state, so that this could be a resource for people. And so yeah, and also thank you so much for watching my video, and I appreciate your time today. I hope that if you're considering foster parenting, I encourage you to go on your Department of Social Services website in your state and just like start the ball rolling and say, hey, when's your next classes? Like, I would like more information about this, and just go for it. There is such a great need for foster parents in the United States. There's over 400,000 kids in foster care that are waiting to be adopted, and so you guys could be the answer to their prayer and to their need. And so at the end of this video, I really wanted to address this actually. So a lot of people come into foster care thinking, you know, they want to adopt, they want to do different things with foster care because like they heard that they can start a family that way. And I just really want to like help you guys with that. Like, the goal of foster care is actually reunification with their biological family. So that could be really frustrating for you if you didn't know that up front. And so I just wanted to say that at the end of this video so that you wouldn't get discouraged trying to get into foster care and realize at the end of it, like, oh, like this isn't really what I signed up for. So the goal of foster care is reunification. I know that there is some instances where you can get a child that has their rights already terminated from their biological family, and so adoption is possible. But then again, like, biological family is always the priority of foster care, whether you like it or not. Like, that's the way it is. I think it's great. But I've been doing this for a while. I get where they're coming from. I understand trauma, and these kids need their biological families. So that's what I'm saying. Okay, so anyways, I hope you guys are having the best day ever, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.